Should be live here at twitch.tv/scrimzone. LOL. Hello, guys. This is going to be Losers Finals, Rift Sharks versus QC, I believe. So, should be very excited for this Losers Final here. I'm pretty hyped personally. It should be a really exciting game. Rift Sharks on a bit of the loss streak, or the losers bracket run, so we'll see how deep they can make it. But yeah, should be a very exciting game. I'm joined by Alec today, who's gonna be my co-caster.
Hello.
So
Yeah, I'm really excited to see like this matchup specifically because Rift Sharks like originally did start in the losers bracket and has been just laying down lead in it and just completely
yeah,
like just obliterating like some teams.
yeah,
But it hasn't been like that easy to climb. They've definitely like had like a pretty like rocky like season overall. But in the playoffs, it feels like they've kind of locked in. Especially with like having
yeah,
Chris like in like the bot lane and a lot of every like parts of the supporting cast are stepping up.
yeah, definitely for sure. Should be pretty exciting to watch. As we get into some champions to watch, obviously Dean Mordekaiser is still on a bit of a tear. Chow Maokai is definitely still a really strong pick we should watch out for. Jakar on the side obviously does not really need to be discussed. Both players have the Syndra as their highlighted champion. I think definitely more so for Guru as he is like a humongous fucking Syndra and Ray. Spiral Niamumu obviously is pretty good. Kage has a 11 KDA on the Smolder in 4 games, which is kind of awesome. Paul's Tarek is definitely pretty good, and Chris on the Senna is currently undefeated. All of these games are in bracket as well, so pretty notable from him. The key matchup for mid lane is going to be Rat versus Gruer. It should be a pretty exciting lane as well. I feel like both these players have like pretty interesting champ pools. Both share the Syndra, so like an overlap. Rat has like the Yasuo in his back pocket as well, with Diana being as strong as she is. She did just get nerfed, so I don't know if we'll see too much prio on it. But champions like Diana and the Wukong tend to synergize really well with Yasuo, so I'm curious to see if we see any prio on that as well. Uh, the matchup stats look a little rough for my boy Rat, but you know, sometimes it happens. We all have bad games, but definitely still a very exciting game to watch here from these two mid laners. So the key player is going to be both Dean and Drakkar. We'll talk about Dean first. Definitely has stepped up play a lot in top lane. I feel like has picked a lot of Mordekaiser. Champ seems pretty good for him. Able to neutralize a lot of matchups that I feel like haven't been super great for him, but we'll see. Obviously, Drakkar is going to be the highlighted player for QC. Monsters champion pool has like 3 bans per game in first phase. It feels like almost every time. It's just a really scary player to watch out for. The Viego and the Zed and the there's a third character in there. The Kiana,
That's a
right?
good character. Yeah.
Kiana is like a shared character. You can flex between him and Rat. Is super important to watch out for. But yeah, we should be getting into draft relatively soon. You got any interesting insights on players? Anyone you're really looking out for?
I think that out of like all the players, like on like QC specifically, I think that you're really gonna have to look specifically at like Drakkar to step up like in these like scenarios.
Yeah,
Like like you have Dean in the top lane who can just play like a lot of like has pretty like good like solid matchup champions into like Chow's champ pool.
yeah,
Like mid lane, like Grua should be like relatively stable against Rat and shouldn't be like. I'm not expecting to see like any like thing crazy happen in mid lane. I expect it to be a pretty stable lane,
yeah,
going like relatively even or slightly favored, but nothing too crazy. Bot lane could be a bit interesting. I think that like that's definitely like one of the lanes that could be a bit chaotic in one way.
yeah,
But I'm really interested to see what Drakkar exactly does this series to
yeah,
try to elevate his team, you know, to that
yeah.
like winning level.
Yeah, he's definitely been like a bit of their linchpin. I feel like I think Rat has had a really good season as well. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of the games where they're playing super well, you see Rat making a lot, or not Rat, Drakkar making a lot of plays. I think the Kiana game versus Alberts was a really big highlight for him. I feel like he played that one really well. So should be really interesting to watch. I feel like in some of the series versus NYMB, I feel like they had some weird champion prio that I didn't really agree with. I'm curious to see if they've found a line for themselves to really uh, really just find a better angle as we should be getting into draft relatively soon. They said 23, but I don't know if that's accurate. 25. We got an extra minute, but
Yeah, I am kind of excited to see what exactly they try to pull off here in draft specifically. I think that like for mid lane especially, you're gonna want to try to either get a favorable or like even matchup for Brewer against Rat. I think that you definitely don't want to like play into just giving like an automatic like losing matchup like either one way or the other for like either like mid laner.
yeah, definitely very interesting to see which team really wants to go. I mean, QC has red side, so I feel like they'll try to save mid for last pick. As we are getting into draft here, it looks like it is going to be the Zed and the Akali bans coming out here for Rift Sharks, as they are also banning the Syndra away from Gruer. I think these bans tend to make a lot of sense. Akali is a really strong flex for QC. Looks like they are going to leave up the Kiana here potentially. I don't really think Gruer or Spiral will really play the Kiana. I think they're saying you don't speak enough Mandarin. Uh, leaving up the Kiana, which is pretty interesting. I don't think that the champion is completely uncounterable. If you go for picks like the Poppy, I think it's really good. Um, looks like they are going to ban Vlad and the Mordekaiser as well. Gruer had a pretty nasty Vladimir. But there's a lot of champions still up here. Gruer Echo is still up. Gruer Aurora is still up. There's a lot of champions up for both teams that I think were hotly contested and should be really interesting. I feel like Gruer Echo up is not something you see very often, and they are just going to
And
take it
there it
first
is.
pick. It is a pretty scary blind, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do from that position. But I mean, I think the Kiana matchup is okay for Echo, so I think that kind of makes sense. But it is a flexible champion. Silas as a response seems pretty legit to me. It can go mid, it can go jungle. Has a good matchup into Echo individually because you can just take the ulti and be just as useful as him. But yeah, I think this is a pretty reasonable response.
Yeah,
Rat, go ahead.
I think it should be a Silas mid. Like like
Yeah,
you have like an easy like just they're all good now then.
yeah.
So yeah, so we can see Jin Zhao and Senna response.
Sorry guys. Yeah, Dean is hogging the internet actually, but looks like it is going to be the Kiana on 3 here. I think it's okay into Zen. You can kind of dodge around him a little bit. Paul Tarek is pretty decent, but I think Senna is a good response as well. Like, you can get a lot of value into just autoing the Tarek down. Uh,
Mhm.
Tarek is like a pretty good anti-engage comp though, so Echo might have a little bit of a tricky time, but we'll have to see how it goes. A lot of armor stacking available, so Senna is kind of harder to execute versus the Tarek, but it is going to be a Smolder ban and a Caitlyn ban, so should just be a bunch of 80 carry bans coming out for both sides. We'll have to see how it goes here, but
I still think QC's still very flexible with their draft.
yeah, I mean the
Like, you know,
Kiana is not locked into mid, the Silas is not locked into mid, or the Kiana is not locked into jungle. They could flex that around a lot. Yeah, I mean they did give over Drakkar Kiana or Rat Kiana, so that is something really important to watch out for. It looks like a Hui ban is going to come out as well, and a Maokai ban into Chow. That kind of makes sense. I feel like this should be ADC here and save top for last pick, so yeah.
honestly, out of all the champs here, I feel like if you an Ash pick wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah,
Like it does
Ash
look a
80
bit
here.
rough, like into Senna, but I think generally like Ash is one of Kage's like best like ADs
Ooh,
left. He's gonna go
misfortune.
with MF though. It looks like.
I mean, I kind
Okay.
of dislike MF into Xin
Yeah,
Zhao
I'm
just
not a
because,
fan either. It feels like MF's very vulnerable
yeah.
versus Rift Shark's team comp, and she can also be like just kind of negated in a lot of ways by their team comp.
Yeah, I mean, Xin Zhao, you get no value out of the ultimate. Echo, it's so easy to get on top of misfortune, I feel like. I mean, there's the Taric there, so it's not the worst, but you're still relying really hard on this Taric.
I really like the Xayah pick here. I think this is really good against QC's team comp.
Yeah, it's really good into the Silas and the Kiana, so I feel like this is a pretty solid pick from them. As we will see what the last pick is for both top laners. Ornn is still up, but no Maokai, so looks like they are just going to take away the Ornn. There are quite a few counters still up. You could send the Silas top lane as an Ornn counter. We've seen that historically. You could uh, pick champions like I can't think of them off the top of my head. Holy shit! Like Fiora, you could go for stuff that can really outscale. Looks like they are gonna hover the Poppy here, which is really interesting. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm not quite sure how I feel about Poppy. I think it is good into like Echo and Jinzhou,
yeah,
but I think one of the issues, however, is that there's kind of like it's kind of like, like you're kind of like going against like what like your comp was like kind of already trying to do, which was dive.
yeah,
But I think that this game's just gonna be really dependent on QC getting a lead and snowballing that lead, basically.
yeah. I think
Because
it
with
is
like,
really important to watch. I also think Echo does not get countered by Poppy. I'm sorry, I don't know if that's a hot take, but like the Echo E, it's only the first part of the dash that gets countered by Poppy W, and then like the blink is undodgeable. The you can ulti while you're like in the middle of the Poppy E W. Like it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I think this draft is very reliant on the Kiana getting ahead. I think that's a very interesting gamble to take versus the team that has been super good with the Kiana, but I don't know. You did also give Greer Echo, so we'll really have to see if he's able to convert on this.
yeah,
That's going to be super
getting
important to watch.
one of their best champs might not
It
be
is
always
their
the best
best
call.
champion by far, but
Yeah.
like, there's a reason he has not gotten this champion in like over 2 years. So
Also, I think there's like a lot of concern with especially the Senna and the Ornn
yeah,
specifically. Like I think that like if you're not making early plays as QC, like this game could just completely like spiral and just fall out of your control. Before you know
yeah,
it, like they're just knocking on your door with like a 3 item Senna with ornaments on her as well.
yeah. Definitely important to watch out for. I mean, if there is a person I trust to get ahead on Kiana early, it is Drakkar, but I feel like you're on so much of a timer here. If you're the side of QC, and the only real concern I have with Riftrux' draft is like range, but like Senna makes up for that pretty well. So I don't know. I think I favor Riftrux draft a little stronger in like the straight up 5v5, but I think it's a little more execution based than
Yeah, I
realistically.
mean
I think
the good news is that
could.
it is a Senna support, so it's not gonna be like as much gold on it.
Yeah,
But like ornaments are really annoying,
yeah,
and you have to play like these fights like really well from QC. I feel like it's Rift Sharks is actually it's pretty simple, like how you want to play exactly.
yeah. But once again, we do have to say it is Drakkar Kiana, so as I am getting all of these champions in real quick, I'm assuming this is Rat Silas and not Rat Misfortune. So I'm curious to see if he's really comfortable in this Echo versus Silas matchup. It's a skill matchup, but it's very Silas favored. So I guess this is proof of concept that Gurr can be counterpicked on Echo. So that download.
Yeah, I feel like with Silas against Echo specifically, like you just have to be like very careful about like just trading into Silas. Like because like the thing about Silas is like you kind of just have like an invisible HP bar, like always. You always have like
Yeah.
a 200 like HP bar that's just not very visible.
Hmm.
And when you trade into Silas, like when he's on low HP, he's actually on higher HP because he always had like he has like heal that's like scaled off like based off his missing health. So, but
Yeah.
I think
They.
that like I do think that Grua should have it though. Like as long as like he knows the ins and outs of his champion, which it's a play champion. So
Yeah.
how it
Definitely very
goes.
important to watch out for. This game can just be an emo. We can go to game two. I think that's not true at all. Like this is going to be a very interesting and important game to watch. I know like both players have gotten champions that I would not expect them to have ever gotten. The Echo for Gurr and the Kiana for QC. So I think this is going to be a very important game to determine how game two goes. because I think it'll determine a lot of champion priority if they have to ban the Echo, if you have to ban the Kiana, stuff like that. I think that's super important for this game one, but we'll have to see, as I need to finish putting in the champions. But Tarek. Okay, thank God. Alright, as we can get into some champion matchup stuff here in a second. Ping the server, we need more viewers. That's so fucking true, actually. As we can go back to look at some of the past performances, Dean is 8-5 on the Ornn. This is Spiral's first time on the Xin Zhao. By the way, Dean, we're still using the old Xin Zhao picture for assets. Like, can we update this, please? Anyways, Brewer is 17-8 on the Echo. Evan is 2-3 on the Zayad. Not super great on it historically, but Chris is still 4-0 on the Senna, as we said. Chow is actually down a lot on the Poppy. I don't think we've seen him play it a lot. Drakkar is 1-0 on the Kiana, but definitely a champion I think we should watch out for. This is Rat's first time on Silas, I think. I presume. I can double check. I can't actually double check. We'll see when we get into the game, but I'm pretty sure it's Rat Silas. Kage is 3-1 on the Misfortune, and Paula is 4-1 on the Tarek, like I said earlier. Xin Zhao has not had a great season historically. Kiana also has not had a great season, but it's been banned a lot versus QC, so I think most of the Kiana games were a par you playing Kiana and losing. Question mark? I think? I have no idea. Echo is 11-7. There's been a lot of jungle Echo players as well, so I don't know if this is really representative of mid Echo. But yeah, not much else to really talk about. Isaiah's 8-8, pretty even champion. Senna's 8-7, even champion. MF and Tarek have done pretty well when they're locked in. Overall records, not a lot of not a lot of variance in terms of like win rate. Like, I don't know, it's like kind of 50 across the board. Xin Zhao is dog shit in this server, by the way. We don't speak enough Mandarin, I guess, for this character, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I mean, Silas has done pretty well because I feel like he's been a historical counter pick, and there was like a stint when his jungle was really good. I think that's pretty evident. Zaya is also dog shit in this server. That's kind of funny. But yeah, Senna's done pretty well for herself. Tarek has also done pretty well for himself. For champ matchups, there's no data on the Xin Zhao Kiana matchup, which isn't too surprising. That I feel like that's not a very common matchup for us. Echo has actually beaten out the Silas in mid lane. I feel like that's pretty interesting, but I feel like a lot of solo queue players will tell you that Silas beats Echo in the 1v1. Misfortune is Dicked on Zaya, apparently that's kind of awesome. No data on this Esoteric matchup, and Ornn is beating out the Poppy, that kind of makes sense. As we are getting into game here, let me swap to the in-game real quick.
oh, and it looks like Drakkar is taking the Silas into jungle.
Oh, it is Drakkar Silas. Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Well,
That is
assets are fucked for mods, but that's not my business. Or that's not my business for the admins, bro.
Sometimes you just gotta pass it on to someone else, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's what I'm saying. But it's none of my fault. It's none of my business.
Hey, it is what it is.
But yeah, this is going to be Rakiana for the first time in that mid lane.
Yeah, it should be exciting to see. He does play a pretty mean Kiana mid lane.
Yeah,
And I believe the quote coming from him himself is, "I can solo kill anyone on Kiana mid lane." So it should be interesting.
yeah. Ooh, going for the ward here, getting the free Senna stack is pretty good for the Senna here. Spiral is going to drop the sweeper and go for it.
It's gonna be +1 in chat, I guess, for that.
Yeah, I'm glad Spiral has been watching Worlds. That way we know to pick Xin Zhao. I mean, Wukong was up, bro. If you wanted to copy Worlds, you're supposed to lock in that character first. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, if we want to also talk about Silas value, I feel like you have two good ultimates, and then the rest are kind of mediocre. Xin Zhao ultimate is okay if you're really good at using it. I think Drakkar has also been pretty consistent on the Silas as well. So we're using the Halo Blades to get a little bit of a decent trade down. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have Echo versus Kiana in the big 20,
Oh,
25 in mid lane. Both of these champions have sort of been stolen by jungle players and appropriated
yeah.
for their own nefarious purposes, so
I will say it's not right what junglers have been able to get away with this season.
yeah. It is Conquer and Ghost for Xayah. I think that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Conquer's been pretty normal on 80 on Xayah 80 carry, and I feel like Ghost is pretty fair in this lane because I feel like Senna and the Taric won't really be able to hit you with much, and if you can outpace them, I feel like you're in a good spot. So
Not much going on yet at all, really.
yeah, I mean,
Some
uh,
like just grass trades, just some like little fist fights, but nothing much really going on.
yeah, I mean Silas is clearing down, has a much faster clear than the Xin Zhao so far. So already finishing up his wolves here. So
Looks like Grua got a really nice push in mid lane. You
yeah.
see, yeah, Red's actually gonna go down a decent amount of CS early, I think. Yeah, not quite
I
sure what
mean,
happened there exactly.
I think that's just Kiana early laning. Like this character is really hard to pilot in the early lane. I feel like it's kind of hard. Good early word from Chow to spot out the Xin Zhao on their clear. Uh, Echo is gonna walk back into lane with the Dark Seal, feeling pretty good for himself here. So still has the TP as well. So no ignite. Cheese should come out here. Someone tell Dean just because he's server owner doesn't mean he can all chat. True. Yeah, both junglers. I mean, the Xin Zhao clear is much slower than the Sylas clear, which is pretty surprising to me. Kiana going for a pretty aggressive trade. Gets the electrocute proc.
It looks
Jakar
like
is behind the
King coming
bot lane
down
here.
here. Yeah, Chikari coming from behind. It looks like Exhaust is gonna come out onto Chris. Nice flash with a double root coming out from the bot lane of Rift Sharks.
Yeah,
And they're
did
gonna
manage
just,
to.
scuttle away. The
Yeah,
flash being burned out of Chris here.
yeah. That was a good wrap from Jakar. Does manage to burn flash for exhaust, which I
There's a
think is
gank mid
pretty
here,
worth.
mid here. Line Spiral not really doing much at all. Just the W.
Yeah.
Really much still happening yet. Oh, it looks like
Yeah.
Rat could be in trouble here. He's gonna have to burn Flash. Audacious Charge coming out from Blind Spiral. Nothing else really happening.
Yeah, they do manage to get his flash out, which was a good stay from Spiral, but it does kind of fuck his tempo here. Drakkar already got the base off for double amp tome. Is gonna already be starting down his full clear again, so definitely a decent spot for the side of the QC jungler, but not much is really happening. Both junglers have been kind of active on the map, but not much else has really happened. Drakkar is going to be in a decent position for this potential dragon fight that starts up, maybe. That's probably something we have to watch out for. Dean's getting some pretty chunky trades down onto Chow here, though.
Yeah. You have to be really careful. That Ornn early laning can be extremely devious.
Ooh,
Out
flash auto!
a solo kill for Dean.
Well played from him. Does manage to pick up the first blood.
Very nice solo kill, and I think that's just Chow just not respecting the damage at all from the Ornn.
Yeah, I mean, Drakkar is a level up here, going for a contest. Does manage to pick up the camp here. Spiral is going to get ulted into the
All
wall here,
in.
and nice coordination from the mid jungle of QC as well.
And just immediately wrapping bot here.
Ooh, good flash E.
Nice flash stun. It's gonna be chain stunned onto the Senna. Senna has no flash, and it's gonna be going down. Paul's gonna be picking up that kill. Root's not gonna come out from the Xayah.
Yeah. They're in such a phenomenal spot here. A couple kills going over to QC. Good trade back for the earlier play. But really good coordination from the mid jungle of QC there to punish the Xin Zhao on Vision. No objectives going to be started up here. Silas with the pretty chunky base has the uh, alternator plus the Ruby Crystal and Amptome, so it definitely is pretty strong.
Yeah, and I think this overall this early activity coming out from QC is starting to work in their favor.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, the solo kill that happened top lane is not really what you want to see. However, like they were able to get like, a kill onto the enemy jungler and also like
I'll play
get a
bot
kill onto the
lane.
enemy support as well, who's
Yeah.
flashless.
Definitely important to watch out for, as could be another gank top lane. Probably gonna have to sack Dragon then, but you can get this kill. Does manage to pick up the Ornn ulti, but not much else is gained. Could be
Looks like
another play
Blind Spiral's gonna be
mid.
looking mid. Rad entering invisibility, just gonna be walking himself out through the top brush to safety of Jakar.
Yeah. Nice play from
Shaking hand pop.
Dracar, but not much else really happening on the map here. Slowly just waiting for objectives to spawn. Grubs are up. Looks like Rift Sharks is not going to be able to contest QC here on the Grubs, and they are just going to start it. Dragon is still up for both teams. If you can get the 3 Grubs, I feel like you can get a lot of value here for the side of QC. If you can get some early push down, get some plates, but looks like Spiral is going to be starting the Dragon, so it is going to be 3 Grubs for the Dragon. This has been a pretty common trade for Rift Sharks most of the time, as they are just going to straight give. Should be 3 Grubs picked up for QC though in response. You get the little Void Might if you can get pushed down, I think it's decent. Only problem with this setup I feel like is QC doesn't really have the range to siege, so it might be like a little harder to end the game off 3 Grubs, or like not end the game, but like get plating off 3 Grubs, which is really what you want it for, but any sort of extra damage on towers could be pretty valuable for them.
Yeah, and I feel like just Dragon stacking in general for the side of the Sharks is really just gonna play into like their win conditions,
Yeah.
which is to basically just try to remain relatively even
Oh,
until you get to a point where like
Greer
killing
does
your
manage
mid
to
lane,
pick up
Gru's
the
just gonna get the solo kill.
kill. Well played to him. Really utilizing the Halo Blades auto trades, and the ult was missed. Yeah, that was true. So well played to
And the
Greer
solo
though.
lanes from Rift Sharks just take a bow.
Yeah.
Very well done, both from Dean and Gruer this game so far.
Yeah, I think if the ulti hit, he does die. He didn't have the ulti up, but the fact that the ulti didn't connect for Rat is very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, that is one of like the weaknesses of Sun coming out here from Chow.
Ulti comes
Knock
out as
up.
well.
He
Doesn't
has
manage
another
to get
Q to
it though.
follow though. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, like one of the weaknesses of Kiana mid lane is if, like, if champion's like sitting relatively in the middle of the lane, you can't really like ever hit them to a wall exactly.
Yeah.
So looking for those angles with like your supreme display of talent is kind of difficult.
Ooh, Spiral is
Oh,
here on the gank. Greer is here as well. Does manage to cancel
no.
Dean's charge. Flash
Looks
coming
like
out here,
now
but
just gonna be just going down here. Looking like another kill handed over to Gruer,
already
maybe.
grasp.
Timewinder could come out.
Ooh, does get the stun, but has
Oh,
to
it's
dodge the
done.
Echo R. Ooh, does manage to dodge
Oh,
it.
doesn't
Does
hit
dodge
it.
the Q,
Timewinder
but the E
misses.
comes out.
Phase dive just takes the kill.
Yeah. Really well played from Rift Sharks, getting a really nice collapse. But QC looking for a response play in the mid lane, trying to grab as many platings as they can
That's
with
me
the 3
possibly
grubs.
popping Ghost.
Ooh,
Going
flash?
for the ulti, looking for the kill. Exhaust comes out. And there's just another kill right over to Rift Sharks.
Yeah, they did get 3 plates mid, so I guess that has to be your consolation prize, but really nice kill from the bot lane of Rift Sharks burning both sums, just knowing they have the kill angle on bot lane, so...
But I feel like this is just really not playing into what you want exactly for QC. You
Yeah.
don't want Rift Sharks just getting random kills and getting gold.
Yeah, definitely agree. It's going to be a little rough from them here. Paul is going to be able to hold the way for his 80 carry, so... Dash is coming out from a rat. Yeah. Definitely a rough spot for QC. I feel like they want to be in the driver's seat for this early game. Feels like they haven't really gotten it so far. Really good proactive play from both Guerrero and Dean and Evan, who got their solo kill as well. So, uh, first, Restrikes did manage to get the kill feats, so they are one ahead. I think the objective feat is pretty split, and first tower feat is definitely in the favor of QC here, with a lot of plating going over to both Rat and Drakkar. So definitely something to still watch out for. I don't think they're too far behind, but it's a little even for my blood in a game where I feel like you really want to be ahead as the Kiana and the Silas. So
Yeah, it looks like Rat's maybe picking up a hubris himself. I'm
yeah,
not sure if that is what you initially go on Kiana, but he is the Kiana main, so I'm just gonna trust it.
yeah. I think it's just because I feel like he needs to snowball. If you can start picking up any kills with the Hubris, I think it's a good buy. If you cannot get ahead at all, I feel like the Profane Hydra plus like the Emerald Glaive setup that people are going for a world is pretty good as well, but this build definitely is reliant a little more on just getting those first kills, really chaining them together. So looks like there is going to be a
Getting out
two-man
there.
invade
It looks like they're
here.
looking for another play on the blind spiral here.
The ulti
Ulti's
comes
gonna be
out.
coming out, but he's gonna be going down. Rat's gonna be picking up that kill.
Yeah, securing Drakkar the red buff, and Dragon should be up for the side of QC if they want to take it. Kiana has no ultimate, so could be a little bit tricky to start up, but they're just gonna start ripping it.
Pretty good play coming out from QC.
Yeah,
Getting that kill just guarantees you the Drake, and now you're just gonna be able to, like, maybe slow the pace of this game down a bit more and try to regain control.
yeah. Drakkar is still down here, so it could be a play bot lane. Kiana is going for it. As Dean is looking for a pretty chunky trade on Chow here, but
Yeah.
Call
Horn
of
gonna be coming out.
Forge.
Knock up. Another brittle proc.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm
good
not sure if Child's gonna be
charge.
wanting to take these trades.
Did get the Sundered Sky
It's
proc.
gonna
The
be
shield coming
looking
out.
like it's
Ulti
kind of
comes out.
close. Knock up coming out from Chow.
Ooh,
It's really
1
close coming down to the wire. Dean's just gonna get the kill.
It was 1 HP, but super well played from Dean. Chow almost got it with the Sundered Sky proc and the passive shield, so
Was pretty close, but
overall, it's still
fortunately for
a lot
QC,
of,
that's gonna be another kill going over to the Ornn.
yeah, definitely close though, but definitely good for the Ornn. You're gonna be getting your ornaments so much faster at this pace if you can keep this sort of topside pressure up, so gonna be a little tricky to pull off, but we'll see what they can really do. I mean, all of the gold for QC is on the mid and jungle, and that's sort of where you want it as this team, so we'll see what they can really do here with their lead.
Yeah, it is definitely gonna come down to this mid jungle pairing.
Yeah.
See if they can actually, work some magic to try to like put QC in a hard winning position.
We'll see what really happens.
Yeah, I do think one bright spot in this game specifically for QC is the fact, you know, Tarek is a champion. He does have an ulti, and it can be like, kind of game changing when, 5 people on your team just become like invulnerable to damage.
Yeah. Looks like they are going for another play in the bot side here. Don't know if there's really anything they can grab. Looks like
Or
they
trading
could
it
just go
off.
for a collapse on mid here. They do get spotted out by the Senna, and Gurr is just gonna walk up. They could go for like a Herald fight if they want to, but yeah, Gurr with ultimate, unlikely to really die here.
Oh,
Echo does get the
he comes
ulti
out.
off, so
There's a trade of
ultis are
ults.
trades. I mean, Unfortunately, Kiana ult is better than Echo Ultimate and has a longer cooldown, so it's going to be really important to watch for that. Looks like the side of Earth Strikes is going to start walking towards the Herald here, so... And Rat is sort of half HP, no mana. Echo doesn't have ultimate though, so I feel like he doesn't really want to go for this contest. Could go for it though.
Yeah.
Chow's starting up the fight
Shade
here
trap
though.
here. Yeah, Chow's gonna be
Ooh, good
he's
ult.
gonna knock away the Echo, but he still does have to deal with the Ornn. Horn gonna be knocking him up quickly. Chris shooting on Rat in the river. Not much else
Yeah.
happening.
It's like they are able to force them off. They're gonna lose the bot tower for it, but they should be able to get the Herald here. And Evan getting that tower is gonna be pretty big for the side of Rift Sharks though. Yeah. They did lose feats for that, so I'm not sure it's super worth it, but being able to secure this Herald is going to be decent for them if they can really get a nice charge with it off. If you can get the charge off and maybe grab a couple towers, it might be worth, but they did drop a bunch of wave spot lane and a tower, so it's going to be a little rough for the side of Kage, but we'll see where they end up here, as it is going to be a Profane Hydra coming out for the Kiana here, just going for a lot of burst. With the Hubris plus the Hydra, has a lot of damage, but doesn't really have as many Hubris stacks as you want on this character. So, Trakar is going for a little more of a bruiser setup with the plated steel caps and the, I assume, Zanya's Hourglass that's probably going to come out here as well. So, going to be super important to watch here. Good block from Chow, getting a decent amount of damage onto Dean here, but the Grasp Brittle procs are being traded back, so...
You know, each time we pan top, it's just a complete fist fight, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Jakar does have the Hourglass, and it looks like they are going to ramp up for a Dragon fight here. The Xayah does have IE components versus just IE plus
Still fighting top here.
dolls.
Chow. Donnie Shadow's gonna come over the top.
Yeah, I mean, the
Except
Taric
both are
did
just gonna
drop...
back off from each other.
They dropped the Herald just to force the tower down mid lane. It should be able to get the charge here, and they're just gonna continue hitting the dragon. Kiana does still have the ultimate,
Sharks
so
is positioning for a fight here.
W
Curious to
connects.
see how they try to pull this off without the Ornn. In comes
Oh
your
my
Jin
gosh,
Shadow. Gru's
good
gonna be
night.
playing looking on the back line. Taric ult's gonna come out though. That's a pretty nice ult. Gruers doesn't really have anything left. No flash, no phase dive, and he's gonna be taken down.
Yeah. Well played from the side of QC, playing it patient. A Drakkar with a really good smite does manage to pick it up, and Gruer going in for the backline, but not able to really get much there, so really holding their abilities for QC. Well played to them, and Drakkar is doing so well pairing with his mid laner, so...
Yeah, I think a really key part of that fight was the just, you know, Taric ult, like, just coming down. Like, before, like, anyone could really even, like, you know, get,
Yeah.
like, brought down to a lower HP bar. And, like, once that ult comes down, you know, you kind of just stare at them. As you
Yeah.
don't really have, like, you know, too much, like, hard CC from, like, you know, the... like, anyone else other than,
Echo
like,
might
you
be
know,
dead
top
here.
laner. Oh,
Another
wow.
really good punish from QC. Well played, just sticking out the TP and really good punish. The Silas and the Kiana getting so much value in this game, and there is a reason Kiana was part of a band versus this team. I feel like disrespecting Gruer Echo is one thing, but disrespecting this team on Kiana is something else, I think. So
Yeah, and I think that, like, when you see the turret just falling low there, like, you just have to, like, you gotta let it go, you know?
yeah,
Like, you can't be, like, you know, TPing to the turret and just,
yeah,
like, dying, like, giving an extra kill. Like, you're just giving extra gold now, which is, like, playing right into QC's hand.
yeah. Definitely QC recovering a bit of the gold lead. Is 2k gold ahead. I think the next fight is going to be determined by the Otacon here. Going to be super important to watch. Something we didn't talk about much in draft just because we didn't really highlight is the difficulty of playing Echo into a champion like the Taric if you're able to get the ulti off before he one-shots one of your carries. Like, it is just like you're going to be sitting in the middle of 5 people. I think in theory, if Echo can, like, buy enough time, you can, like, get the ulti rewind on a bunch of people, but, like, you do have to live through everyone on the enemy team to be able to do that, and it's, like, pretty hard to pull off. Drakkar is gonna steal away the Echo ulti as they're gonna try for this fight.
Yeah,
Oh,
Raptor
flash
in for a play
ulti!
here. Spring display of talent. Completely one-shots Chris, and he's just down immediately. Evans trading back, throwing out his feathers. Nothing really here for Grua to look at. Still has the ulti. So does Drakkar. He has the Echo ulti as well. He's rooted up with CC'd, but he still gets the rewind back off. Or he's going to miss. Nothing really happening yet. Echo ult, Misfortune ult over the top. Akiyama kind of low. It's looking pretty bad for Rift Sharks. Rat's going to assassinate the Xin Zhao, but still the Orange coming out. Knockup coming through. Nothing really going down except QC.
Yeah, well played to the side of Rift Sharks toughening out that fight. QC, I feel like overplayed their hand a little bit on that fight. Rat getting a bunch of kills, but they are going to give away this autocon to the side of Rift Sharks, so shutdown from Drakkar is going to go down as well. So I feel like they overplayed their hand quite a bit there, and really nice punish from Rift Sharks.
Yeah, I think a really key part of that, entire fight was just the Xayah.
Yeah, Xayah did go completely untouched. They overforced onto the Xin Zhao, and you did get the really good assassinate on the Senna, but that was sort of it. So. Yeah. As Autocon is going over, they have a bunch of petals. What is the petal difference? 25 to 7? Okay, it's like kind of bad, but we'll see if they're able to recover it. Hourglass is going to be a
big weakness of part of this. That's a part of QC's comp where, you do have your initiation is very one-dimensional. So
yeah,
if it goes wrong, well then there's no way it ever go. There's nothing that's ever gonna go right. So you do have to be very careful when you are just running into champions like Xayah that love it when people do just run into them.
Yeah, definitely something they will have to watch out for. They are collapsing on the Ornn, but not much is really gained here. Grit is just getting a decent amount of stuff in the side lane, looking for potentially the tier 2 tower topside. Could be pretty useful. Dragon is spawning with the Senna ulti just maybe for vision. Just trying to spot out.
Not quite. Easy. I think it was for vision. Unsure though. If you want to be burning that long of a CD just for vision.
Yeah, I think it's a little tricky for them to try to approach QC though. Chow isn't going to be there for this fight, so it's just going to cancel Brewer. Does get the shove.
Brewer busy here for now.
I mean, he doesn't die quickly, so it's going to be a little important to watch.
I think that Ornhorn's going to be coming out. Silas ult's going to be stealing the Xin Zhao ult away.
But Chow is
still going to be kept here
occupied.
busy.
They do manage to pick up the dragon for QC, so third dragon coming out. That is going to be sole point for the side of QC. Chow is walking into 4 people though.
Fight here, yeah.
Ulti comes out from the Ornn. Does manage to get the whole call back as just managing to tag up Dean. They are looking for Baron here, but that's not a real play.
I think now for QC, all you have to really just focus on is just. It's kind of funny because now you kind of don't mind spending a bit more time just waiting for the soul to come up.
Yeah.
And just fighting that soul. I think the only thing that you just need to be really just present and aware about is just not giving any more free kills or giving any free turrets over to the side of Rift Sharks now.
Yeah.
Because you extend this gold league any more for Rift Sharks, and it can become a much more difficult game.
Yeah, I feel like the Mountain Soul is also pretty good for QC with no real front line. Poppy only having HP items, any amount of percent armor and MR that they can get from these dragons is going to be really big just to amp up their HP. And characters like Silos who have a lot of dive really like having extra free resistances and stats like that, just so they can stay in these fights longer. So. Silas is looking for the Echo here. Could be a pick. Does have the Echo ulti. The stun coming out from the Poppy. Really good chain CC. Echo does manage to get the ulti off, but they should be in the parallel convergence. But
looks like he's just gonna get out the phase dive. It's kind of hard to follow, but it looks like they're making a simultaneous play here top.
They do manage to pick up Guru.
Guru's gonna get taken down. Ornhocker's gonna come through with a double knockup, but it doesn't appear that he's gonna be able to live that.
Yeah.
And I think. For QC, this is just perfect. Exactly what you want. Oh, Evan's gonna get caught out here in mid. Drakkar Looking
Just
on the
sub the Echo ult.
Zaya. Good
Flash
reaction to
forward.
dodge out the chains. But doesn't
Spiral
appear that
does
she's
pick
gonna
up one
live.
back, but
Here comes the fight.
Senna is here though, gonna heal him up a little
Now,
bit.
Jakarta's just gonna keep the fight going.
Kiana is here. Oh, does
They're
get
gonna
the
still land.
stun.
Stun comes through the Tarek.
Yeah, Senna is trying to auto back, but is a bit of the P shooter here. Zanya is gonna come out.
Yeah.
And another tier 2 tower for QC, and that's a huge gold injection for them as well. So back to gold lead, back in their favor, up 1k here. So
Well, they have a TP coming in here. I think they're looking for Baron, maybe.
yeah, this is definitely going to be a Baron angle. Gonna try to sweep out the vision here. Echo is here though, and Drakkar is low HP and low mana, so this might
MF
be a
is in
little flip.
base. I'm not sure about this.
No, they can do it. It just might take a little bit. Terrakeel is going to be really big. You see how much HP they're regenning off just him free hitting, so just really
I'm not
depends.
really
Chao
sure
just
if
needs to play
Ryu or
bodyguard.
Dean can really do anything here. They're kind of just gonna be
Yeah.
able to stare at them. And
And that's
Casey's just gonna
Baron.
be able to walk out with the Baron. Yeah. There it is.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm trying to avoid read chat verbatim, but Snow just saying, I guess we just right click on every part of the map and it's winning. Got his line. That's heat. I will gladly take that. Yoink! Thank you, Snow, for
Yeah,
that
that
one.
is, that is a. I mean, it's a pretty accurate assessment. Like QC just goes where they please, and honestly, it's everywhere they're going is just working out in their favor at the
Yeah,
moment.
I mean,
Again, more
yeah.
trading up here in top lane. After all, top laners do have to make each other demigods by giving each other grass stacks.
Yeah, it's just like that. They just got to do it for fun, bro. It's just
Yeah.
ego, bro. Who cares?
Yeah. You
I
know,
mean,
like you do like, coming out of base, like 20 minutes into the game and just seeing like both top laners with like an extra 600 HP from, grasp.
yeah. Looks like they are gonna try to knock down this tower. It looks like QC is just trying to do a little rat packing, just looking for picks in the jungle as 5. So could be a play onto Spiral here, but I do think it is a little tricky for Rift Sharks to try to force fights without Ornn there, and also any fights in jungle is like excessively hard versus Kiana. Like that character is just so monstrous at fighting in places where there are a lot of walls to connect her ultimate. Plus it is a mountain soul, so there's like a couple extra walls for you to hit. Like it's just really rough.
Yeah. Chokes are a specialty for QC's team comp. MF ults.
Oh, this could be really
Kiana.
bad. Spiral is gonna be caught out
Oh,
here.
yeah,
Good
Spiral's just
stun.
gonna get caught out there. Yeah.
And well played from QC. Good Taric E positioning from the side of QC, and this should just be Mountain Soul for them. Mountain Soul plus Baron. This should be a very nice game for QC though. If they're able to clean this one up, I feel like they're in such a commanding position at this point. So
Even with just like a 3k gold lead, I think that you just absolutely just love being in this position.
yeah, it's 3k plus like a bunch of value from the stats of the Dragon Soul plus the Mountain Soul Shield. Like you're in such a commanding position here. If they can hold on to this lead, this should be pretty easy closeout from them. IMO. The Echo is going to be really hard to try to assassinate anyone. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Kiana and the Silas are both very, very massive. Yeah. Baron should be going down for them though. So that should be at least a little bit of breathing room for the Satyr of Sharks. It's gonna be hard to really get access to these towers without the Baron here. As Drakkar is dropping into the out of vision here. Chao getting a really nice play. Does manage to knock back the Senna, but not much else is really gained.
Really happening. Appears like they're just gonna be looking to push bot.
Yeah, looks like they should be able to pick up this tower here. Drakkar is still mid lane, so not much else is really happening. Really just, I don't know. We did sort of talk about this earlier. QC does have a pretty hard time sieging as like a team comp. They're just constantly looking for fights in the jungle more so than trying to knock down these towers, which is a little rough, but they are going to be able to grab this tower. MF automation is a little interesting here as well. LDR and Bloodthirster, that's fairly interesting build, but I feel like it's okay for this position in the game. The Bloodthirster plus the Mountain Soul Shield makes it really hard for Sharks to get any plays on her as well, so it's kind of interesting.
Definitely is a choice to take LDR.
I respect it, honestly. You know what? Fuck it, we ball.
I mean, hey, someone's got to like pen the armor.
Yeah. It's getting a decent trade onto Spiral here. Just looking for top tower here. Just any sort of tower pressure that they can get. Making sure that both of their waves are forced in, just to make sure that they can really keep Sharks on the back foot, clearing out their vision, just making sure that they cannot ever walk into their jungle, and making sure that the game is going to be locked out for them as they have expanded their gold lead to 5k here for the side of QC, plus the Mountain Soul gold value, so it's going to be really important to see what they go for here. Honestly, if I'm the Silas, I would go like a armor and MR item just because the value you get from it plus the percentage amps from Mountain Soul would be kind of nice. But I feel like you already have the Hourglass and the Plated Steel Caps, so it's not super unreasonable to just sit on those. But is that going to be Edge of Night for Misfortune? That's kind of awesome.
I mean,
Well, why
kind of
not,
makes you
right?
like, yeah. I mean, like, why not?
I think it's
Like,
decent into the Ornn, like you can block the slow, so it's harder to hit the second R2, I guess. That's not like the
yeah,
most unreasonable thing on earth.
you become a bit more of an unfriendly target for the Echo
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, for sure. As QC is just taking up jungle presence once again. Ornn could be out of position here, but does manage to pick up the Ornn ulti for the Sylas, so. Someone from QC.
I do still think, even with the Mountain Soul, Brush Sharks is probably okay with the game going just a bit long. It looks like
Ooh,
they're gonna be
face shot
face checking
coming
this
out.
brush though. Yeah,
Chow's
didn't really
buying
have me
so
out of
much
that. I was expecting
space.
for looking for a turn, but I guess that the Kiana was just a bit too far.
Looks like they are just gonna start the Baron here. I think that's fine for them. They want to be on the Baron start. Ulti coming out from the Senna just for vision here. Chow's shoving out the
Here comes the Ornn
Zin's out
ult, double
here.
Ornn ults, matching Ornn
Does manage to
ults.
hit a couple. Looks like they're gonna
Oh
turn off
god.
here. Chow's dropping
Yeah.
super low.
Oh,
The
and
MF
just a
ulti.
complete one shot of the Zyre. She got completely deleted, and they're just gonna follow through and just wipe the board with Rift Sharks. Chris, the last one standing, he's just gonna go down right after a triple kill for Kage.
Well played from QC, just making sure that Rift Sharks have to come check them at the Baron, and they're able to just pick up the free kill. This is the problem with fighting Kiana in the jungle and any sort of river fight. This character is just impossible. And I guess QC Kiana better than Greer Echo, I guess. Unfortunate, but really well played to, I think Rat should probably get more credit for this game, but like I feel like Drakkar kind of sat in Spiral's jungle and completely invalidated the other jungler. So, but that might also be jungle bias. I can't lie.
I mean, I think that like I can kind of understand like the idea behind picking Jin Zhao, like in a game like this.
Yeah,
Like especially when you see like the Silas so early on in draft, you don't want to just immediately opt into a movement because you're just giving Silas a really good ult. But I think we definitely do want to like put Spiral on something that he probably is like not first timing,
yeah. I think it will
ideally.
be interesting to see whether or not they go back to like the Zinzao. I feel like their options are probably better if they go Amumu. And they just ban out the uh Silas. I feel like that might be their better option. Why the fuck are we banning Akali and Zoe? I had the exact same opinion, so. But yeah, let me get all the assets updated and then we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I was
I don't
just
know. I
about to
mean,
go change it.
I was just like thinking. I think that like this game especially like what Rift Sharks really just needs to do was kind of like just look for a bit more stability and not get like sucked in to like Kiana or in like the Silas like just comboing. like their
Yeah,
backline, or just one-shotting people or getting a bunch of gold on them. But that kind of didn't work out. So I do agree that definitely I want to see like how Rift Sharks approaches like this next draft to try to like ensure that that doesn't happen again.
yeah. I think some of the more important things to watch out for is I think they are going to have to opt into a Silas ban if they want to get Spiral on a Mumu. I think that is kind of important for them. I think leaving up Brat Kiana is like this team is so good because they can flex the Kiana. Both players can play the Kiana. I think limit testing or testing them on a character that both of these characters have proven they're able to perform on in finals is a little suspect. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah,
should be getting
given
into
that,
champ select here in a couple minutes, but I think opting into a Silas ban is pretty reasonable. I think QC also showed that they can play into the Echo. I feel like that's going to be really important to watch. If they just let the Echo through again, is Greer going to run it back on the Echo? I feel like it's not unreasonable for him to do that, but
I mean, I think that QC just picked a really good comp into Echo. Like
yeah.
Echo's like only like serious target like in team fights was like Misfortune. But then
Yeah,
like
and then
Misfortune had like a Taric like right next to her, and then like you can't really like go on Kiana because she'll just like murder you, or like Silas is like also just like not like really one-shottable.
yeah, definitely going to be very tricky for them. As we have a minute left for draft. I might go get some water after draft, but your boy is parched. It's my turn to stay hydrated.
Absolutely.
Stay hydrated, guys. Go get some water.
Yeah,
Everyone in chat,
hydrate, do not dehydrate.
true. Wait, we should be getting into draft here, as draft has started. My bad, guys. It's QC is gonna stay on the Mord and the Syndra ban. Looks like they're taking off the other bans. Looks like they are just banning out Zoe, Akali, and Zed here. The Kiana and the Silas are still up for the side of
Are we just
QC,
gonna get
so.
another run back of the same draft? I
And
feel
they
like
are going to first pick the Silas. Do I have the assets swapped? Oh, it is QC. Okay, sorry. I have the assets wrong. Give me 1 second, guys. Uh, hold on. Did I not create the assets? Hold on. Oopsies. But, let me update these real quick. Sorry, guys. But,
Amumu and Thresh.
okay. We have it swapped. But, also, Silas first pick, and then we're just going to opt into the Mumu matchup. Okay, fair enough, Rift Sharks. We're losing peace, I guess. By the way, this matchup is completely unplayable for the Amumu. Like, you just take
Yeah,
The Silas just takes the Amumu, and you're a better Amumu. And Drakkar literally just showed that they are really good on the Amumu. Or the Silas. Like, come on, guys. As they are going to opt into the Taric here, that's reasonable into this much engage from the side of Rift Sharks, right?
I think
And then
this is
Kiana is still up, by the way.
going. I think this is going really good for QC. I think you can just like
I
if you
don't know if
really
you want to
want
pick
to.
Kiana. I don't know if you want to pick
Yeah,
Kiana
I'm not sure if you
because
want to pick
they
Kiana
did
here,
first pick the
but
Echo, so
I think so far with this draft, you're pretty happy. I'm
yeah.
a bit confused about the Zoe ban. I think that uh maybe there was like something going on in scrims with
Oh,
Zoe, I guess,
misfortune.
but oh
That's
yeah,
fair.
MF.
They have opted into the MF over the Kiana. It'd be bold to blind Kiana. Yeah, especially into Gura, I think it's reasonable to show him some level of respect and just not take the Kiana because you don't really have the threat of flex anymore. As they are gonna opt into the Talia here, and they're probably gonna go for Kiana ban. They could leave it up here because Kiana is such a bad matchup for Talia. So
I feel like Kiana doesn't want to play into those three champs that Rift has.
yeah.
I do, however, like Rift Sharks opting into a bit more heavier CC this time. I think
Yeah.
that not having like much like heavy CC like in the last game. Like really did not do them a disservice, especially against like uh Kiana and like Silas.
Okay.
Surely not.
Dude, I think my internet is just being really wonky. It's been wonky all week. I'll probably have to reset or something.
I can't believe Dean had to turn off the lights.
True. As Rift Strikes have gone for the Kaisa lock in here into the. They did also get a nun ban. I'll double check what that is real quick, but I guess they just opted for a nun ban. That's kind of ego.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was exactly.
I mean, no one said anything. I can double check in like the actual spectate if
I
it's
can.
done.
No, it's not show. It's
It's
a
Zaya, it's Zaya.
Zaya. It's Zaya. Zaya. Yeah, it's Zaya ban.
Zaya and Orin. They
Okay.
have opted for the Malphite here, so we'll see if
Let's see.
Dean is comfortable on like a champion like the Rumble. I think that's like a decent option here.
Hmm.
But I mean, it is Malphite blind with the Silas on the enemy team, Vladimir and Mordekaiser down. Like, I don't think Malphite is completely unreasonable here, by the way. Like, it's not great, but it's not unreasonable, I think. I mean, Maokai is still up. Yasuo! Right, Yasuo! Let's
Yasuo.
go!
Yasuo. I'm unsure if you want to pick Yasuo here
No, he's egoing. He's egoing 1000%. He's egoing 1000%.
though. No, I know I know Rat really well as well. I think this is 100% I am a much better player than everyone else
He's
on the
he's putting the
team.
dick on the table and saying, I'm better than you. Like, let's be real for a second. Like, surely we're not picking
Yeah.
Yasuo into Talia, right? Like,
Well, not yeah, especially into like it's
yeah,
Science.
Sion. We watch pro play, I
It's
guess.
Scion.
Correct.
Yeah, I think the Scion here is a really good pick. Like, as long as like like he also like he's gonna
Oh wait,
probably
I
have
think
to
it is.
basically be
Oh
focused
wait,
on
sorry. I have
yeah.
Psycho carried in as the last player. That's probably still Chris. That's my bad. I just auto put in the default rosters, but I can change that here in a sec. But yeah, hold on.
I guess that means that Chris still does have a 100% win rate on Senna if you think about it.
So true. Sorry, my bad, guys. I was not paying attention that much. We were getting into draft. It was a whole thing. I mean, I think this draft is good for Rift Sharks. Like genuinely, like Sion's a good matchup in a
Yeah.
Malphite. Talia should rock Yasuo's shit. No pun intended, by the way. That was not an intended pun, but we ride.
You know what?
Shit, hold on.
Shout out to QC. They're trying to give us a game 3.
Yeah. True. Let me fix up the assets real quick and get everything sorted, and we will be into that real quick. Like, okay, there we go. We can do that, and then let me get all these bands filled or picks filled out. Silas. Also, is it just me or is R5ing Sion like a little illegal? Is that champion
Uh,
not supposed to be Turbo Thanos blindable right now? Am I stupid?
yeah, I think that like picking Scion even like earlier would have been like fine as well, but I mean, I think that Rishark should be like pretty happy with their draft.
Like, we
I
cannot be
mean,
holding R5 counterpick for Sion, right? Like, that's like not legal, right? Let's get to the slideshow though. Previous champ matchups, Sion is 1-1 into Malphite. Uh, Silas has lost the Amumu matchup. What have we been doing on this fucking Amumu matchup, by the way? We need to be killed. But I think this is a good matchup for Silas. Obviously, you can take the Amumu, it's really good. Yasuo is 1 and 2 and Titania makes a lot of sense. Misfortune has been dunking on Kaisa, bro. Holy shit. And Tarek is lost once in the Thresh, doesn't mean anything. Overall records, I don't really care. Season records,
I
sure.
mean, it kind of makes sense for like misfortune like dunking on Kai'Sa. It's the classic Kai'Sa ulting dash like we're just going invis like permanent like right clicking perfect like movement, and MF just right clicks you.
MF throws up the fucking make it rain, drops the ultimate, autos you, like, okay. Nice. It's like the sweating guy meme, and then like,
Yeah, the sweating guy, and then
yeah,
like
that's
the
literally the Kaisa versus Misfortune matchup, bro.
yeah. Meanwhile, you have like you pan over and someone's just playing League of Legends like literally with their toes.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah. As we look at past performance, Evan is 2 and 6 on the uh
Y-
Kaisa.
You
Guru
know,
is
like
14
two
and
and
6
six
on
with a
the.
3.17 KDA.
Is
I
not
think that's a
terrible though.
significant. Yeah, it's not. It's like honestly, like I think that's a signifier of other things happening.
Yeah. Chao is 3 and 0 on the Malphite though. Kind of a beast mode. He's rocking
Yeah,
it, if you will. But that pun was intended. I'm sorry, but
and that's is pretty good though. Yeah, you just gotta like own it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll be right back though. I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be right back too.
All right, all good. I'll just chill here with the chat. Snark, I would draft to stop you. You know, it is a very interesting day when you do get to watch Yasuo versus Talia. Sure glad that you get to watch Fun Yasuo's gameplay instead of Azir merch. Hmm. Will I take the rage rate? Questions of the day.
Answer is no. By the way, we will not take rage
No,
bait
I will
tonight.
not take the rage bait. I merchant. I own it. I completely merchant that champion.
All right, as we're getting
A little bit
in.
of all chatting here going on.
Yeah. Also, we are going to be seeing Chris for the first time on a character that is not Senna or Brand. There were some critics on his Brand gameplay, I believe, but should be really fun to
Surely
watch.
not.
Amumu does have the Aftershock instead of the Conqueror, so is looking for more of a full tank setup. Could go for like Bombies. I feel like the Bombies build has been really good. Did get buffed recently, so I would prefer to go that if you want to go frontline. I think just relying on your two carries to sort of be the threat here, and let your three meatballs and sit in front of your carries could be really good for the side of Rift Sharks, but we'll have to see, to be honest. Yeah. Get excited, guys. Potentially last game for Rift Sharks this season.
Yeah. Season is on the line.
Yeah. That's right. getting a decent trade
Oh,
mid lane, is using the dashes pretty well.
yeah.
E-start for him was pretty good, getting a huge trade, so
And hey, if it's not complete ego, opting into the TP instead of Ignite, something to be celebrated.
true.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see two top laners with grasps duke it out again.
True, actually. Amumu did opt for the Raptors up clear, so it's gonna finish the clear faster than Silas. Amumu also has a faster clear than Silas in general, so we'll see how they do. Both junglers pathing to the opposite side here, trying to get stuff done on opposite sides here, but we'll see if they're able to get anything done. A lot of trading has been coming out from mid lane, so and Silas is going to be finishing up the clear faster than Amumu here, I think. We'll see though. Ooh. Does manage to dodge
It's
out
not gonna
the
hit.
shove.
Yeah.
So this, the Silas is going to be starting up the crab here on top side, so both junglers should be getting a crab here at the very least. Sion is going to be backing off here knowing they have no pariah. Could go for like a cheeky gank on the backside here. Looking for some very aggressive vision here. Going to be basing in the enemy jungle. Just both junglers getting a reset off here. Playing for tempo. Yeah, those are going to be the bombies by. As Drakkar is going to go for the double amp tome. Not a Dark Steel merchant like me, but probably for the best.
Okay, you won't have to write a thesis on why Dark Seal's a better item.
Do you
A
know?
better component.
Dude, I will continuously merchant Dark Steel, bro. I will be #1 Dark Steel merchant, but never catch me without a Dark Steel playing an AP jungler, bro. Both top laners are just throwing grass procs into each other, like you said, so.
Yep. It's gonna be an awesome thing once mid game comes out and both top laners just walk like at you, having a lot more HP than they normally should.
Yeah. I mean, Rat is trading quite well into Gur's Delia here,
Yeah.
getting a lot of damage
Oh my
down.
goodness.
He is a Yasuo player for a reason, and oh my gosh, the
Oh,
Flash E!
wow,
Woo!
nice rat. To get
Gets
out?
one.
Oh, it's a trade.
It is a trade, but really good Flash from Rat. Does manage to pick up the first blood in this game. Really insane dive, bro. Hook coming out onto the Taric here, but not much else is really grabbed in response. Berserker Grease is going to be picked up for the Yasuo here. Double Sunfire for the top side of Risharks. As Drakkar has done full clear into full clear reset, full clear reset. So average
I
day in the
think,
life of a jungler. So
especially with specifically with the mid lane match, I think that the way to play it effectively is you kind of have to wait for Yasuo to dash, and you have to do it right as he's dashing, cast your E down.
yeah,
However, it's kind of difficult to do because you have to time it just right.
yeah. I don't think it's like an insanely easy Talia matchup, or not like a. It's a good matchup for Talia, but it's not like a easy to execute counter pick. I think. Not entirely sure how to phrase that, but It is still hard to time the E, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Flash
Oh,
Q
here's the
comes
move.
out.
Flash Q
Good
just getting
W.
blocked by the wind wall.
Does hit the 3-man knockup. I know the Yasuo
I'm not
instincts
gonna
were
opt in.
screaming at him to press R, but
Yeah.
I heard the demons too, bro. Don't worry.
If you like get like a huge knockup or like a huge like just CC chain, like you just gotta
Another
go in.
trade's coming
Chill him out.
out.
Oh,
Flick into
nice flick
tower.
from Brewer.
Ooh, goes for the
Comes the ult,
play.
but the Amumu's still here. Out comes the ult from Blind Spiral.
Does manage to get the second
And
Q,
up comes the
and
Thresh Realm. It looks like Ratchet's gonna be taken down here. His aggression punished. Up comes the
yeah.
Scion ult. Nothing really happening yet. Chao's still holding on to his own unstoppable force, and he's gonna be getting out of there.
Yeah, well played to the jungle and support of Risharks, rotating up at the right time, getting a really nice punish on Rat. He went for the style play. I respect it, but unfortunately was punished. He was out there if he didn't just take the ulti back, so. As pings are coming out for the grub start for the side of QC. Should be a pretty nice avenue for them. Neither jungler or sorry, Risharks doesn't really have any vision of it, so it should be a pretty easy take. Rat has all the power in the world, so and they still have time to potentially rotate back over for the dragon contest if they really want to go for it. So Guru are already buying up a lot of vision for the side of Risharks though if they want to go for the dragon immediately. Paul is just gonna press the B key, and I think Silas might just go hit his blue buff. So.
You know, I'll be honest with you, Mason. I'm starting to get a bit of deja vu here.
Yeah, a little bit, dude. That's what I'm
QC
saying.
getting the grubs, Ripshot getting some early kills. Two top laners just hitting each other on repeat.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be fair, the mid lane is going a lot better for Gur, I think, this time around. We'll see if he can really link up with the good flick buffer
Again.
between the ultimate, using the wind wall here as well, but we'll have to see if Talia can convert a little bit
Yeah.
better as
Looks like
Silas is
Blind
going to
Spiral
be up
might be
here.
looking again mid. Oh,
Card not going
Flash
to
is
go
gonna
for the
come
Scion
out
ult.
from Dean. Nothing really happening there.
Another play is coming out onto Guru
Yeah.
here,
Yeah. And in
but
comes a
Rat.
sad mummy.
Oh, good
Oh,
dodge on the
nice
ulti.
dodge out from Rat. I don't think he knows that the Thresh is still here though. Oh, now he does. And you already know he's calling to his team, like, there's 3 people mid, so let's get something done.
Yeah. And a really good dodge from Rat on the Mumu ulti, by the way. Really good usage of the Yasuo
Yeah.
dashes. And ooh, wait, flank from from the Derek
Nice
does
try.
manage
No
to burn
flash on the Evan
the Kaisa
now.
ulti, so or Kaisa flash, so
Yeah.
as neither team has really opted into this dragon fight yet. So I don't think Rift Sharks has like a very clear scaling advantage like they did last time. I think Thresh is good in the late game, but I don't think it's quite as insane
Yeah.
as the
Bike's coming out
Senna. Ooh,
here.
ulti comes out.
In comes the Tarek ult. Exhaust also coming down as well. Nothing really happening yet.
But yeah, ultis are traded, but Thresh ulti is a way shorter cooldown than the Tarek ulti, so it's going to be very important to watch if they're able to capitalize on this downtime for the side of Rift Sharks. But Amumu is just top lane, so this should be a free dragon for the side of QC. Has all the pro in the universe, they're going to go for it. And yeah, good start for the side of QC here, getting the first 2 objectives. A bit of a late dragon though, so Soul should be a little bit delayed here, but definitely going to be very important to watch out
Yeah.
for.
I think that QC and Rift Sharks are replaying the same game, but I just can't prove it. So
Yeah, I'm checking the time logs right now, bro. I'm getting a little deja vu, man. Like, I don't know, bro. I mean, to be fair, I think Rat and Drakkar have done a little bit less punishment on the Amumu compared to what they were doing to the Zinzao last time. I think that's also because Amumu is a little bit harder to punish if you have the Amumu ult up. So
Yeah, definitely not as easy to punish as, like if you just are trying to like, punish the Amumu, like he can I think he can just buy a lot more team or a lot more buy us a lot more time for his team so
yeah,
that,
with
they can come collapse and like come help him out if he ever does get
ooh,
invaded.
speaking of though, they're just looking for the two man. They do manage to get the Amumu
Uh,
ult.
yeah,
Spiral's Amumu ult is going to come out here, but the
yeah.
Amumu ult in response from the
Wait, looks
Yasuo.
like that. I'm surprised that Rat didn't opt into that ulti there, but I guess that
Yeah, and that's
we're just
sort of the
worried about
difference
it. Oh, and
between
in comes Gruer. Good flash, but nothing really coming out of it yet.
looks.
Great hook from the Thresh. And they're going to be able to pick up Blind Spiral on the end of it, but they're going to have to get out of here as both Drakkar and Rat taken down in that skirmish. Oh,
Yeah,
and
and
another good hook.
there was a solo kill in the bot lane.
And it looks like Gruer just doesn't flip it the right way. Oh, and here comes
Yeah.
the
Oh,
stun.
the stun!
Wait, and Dacia's going to be going down.
That was a really funny play. But yeah, and you see the difference between being able to gauge on a character like the Zinzao and being able to gauge on a character like a Mumu. The Sunfire Aegis is just making him way more tanky than the Zinzao with Sundered Sky. So
It's a bit of banter coming out there.
yeah. But yeah, Evan did get a solo kill bot lane, so good on him. Utilizing being able to 1v1 the enemy AD carry, really good for them. But yeah, Riftstrike's definitely in a very commanding position compared to last time here. So, or not very commanding, but in a better position than they were last time. And you're seeing it is a little more difficult to pair up with the Sylas plus Yasuo versus Sylas plus Kiana. Kiana just has a little more mobility. It's a little easier to get into these fights. Whereas Silas has to hit the E2 for him to really get a good angle, and even then it's still like a pretty small knockup, so it's hard to pull off completely. But
Yeah, I feel like that there was like a chance. Oh, there's more trading here in top lane.
grasp auto fight, yes!
Yep, yep. We have to get over 600 max health from Grasp and walk into the mid game with way too much health. It's just a classic top laner moment.
The top laners just need more HP. You don't understand. They get bored. ADHD. We need to hit each other. Yeah, Zamu is mid once again, looking for another play here. Oh, the Silent Ulti is going to come out here.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Rat's
but
gonna get
the
hit by
engage
that.
onto
Chain
the
CC and Amumu is gonna
Kiana
get
or
taken down
Talia though.
immediately. Jakar still has the Cyan ult. Oh, great flick from Gruer, and he's gonna get taken down by Jakar. Shutdown going over
Oh,
to
but
him
the ulti.
himself. And his ult is pretty nice. Oh, it doesn't look like any kills are gonna come through yet.
Yeah, good rotate from Dean.
And
Does manage to
Jakar's
pick
still
up.
chasing Spiral. Oh, nice try on the chains, but the Blastgun's gonna be getting him out. But
Yeah.
overall, I think you're really happy with your Rift Sharks. You're going to be getting a bot lane turret as a result of that.
Yeah. Evan's getting so much value on the bot side by himself, and I think we're seeing the difference in a character like Senna versus a character like Thresh. Like, you just have really good, a lot more options to play fights versus like having a character like the Senna. So this Jakar is going to go for the needless, probably going to go for a more AP centric build here, just so they can really get themselves online. Amumu is going to be bot lane. They are just sitting on top of Yasuo here, and
And Dean taking a lot of turret damage. I'm not sure he's going to want to
yeah,
do
another
that.
Amumu Q coming
And
out
looks
here.
like Rat's going to be being caught here in the side lane. He's going to flash
Flash
away.
coming out.
Windwall's going to get burned. Nothing really happening yet.
Another trade
Good
from
cancel
Chow. Could be a
here.
solo kill.
Yeah, looking at the solo kill here.
As Rishrex is just gonna grab the dragon here potentially. QC is just down a little too much gold. Yasuo has been eating so many ganks from the Yasuo, or from the Amumu. So, as Amumu is gonna grab this dragon, so. And it is just so much harder for them to force plays onto the Talia as well versus onto a character like the Echo. I know Echo has the ulti, so. Ooh, good stun
Oh,
from
nice
the.
coming up with the car. Great combo coming in from the Taric and Silas together with the Abscond and Abduct. Kagi's going to be picking up that kill on Chris.
Yeah, nice play. You see the value of putting a player like Drakkar with the character like Taric. They know how to position the Taric just to make sure that it hits. So well played to them. Could be an objective here for them as well. They're choosing to start up the Herald here with Chow coming over as well. Dean looking for the rotate here potentially, but the MF is already here, so they might go for a fight. Looks like they're just gonna try to zone the Scion away. Kaisa could rotate over here though. It could be a full collapse from the side of Sharks. Q coming out. The ulti comes out from the Taric as Silas has opted
Not
to get
sure
off
if they
the
wanted to burn that.
Herald.
Yeah, looks like definitely not much they can do with the Taric all burned like that.
Yeah. W comes out. Kage is dropping super low here, but more grass fights, more autos, more HP being traded over. Woohoo! Ricard is just hitting the red buff. Rift Strikes has chosen to start the Herald here. I think that's pretty fair. There's no vision from the side of QC. And the Scion is like quite a bit tankier than the Malphite right now. With the Yasuo also bot lane, they don't really have that engage from the side of QC, so Free Herald is picked up for them.
Yeah,
Ricard is
pretty much.
bot lane here as well, so. Another W.
Despite Rat, he does have 4 deaths. However, he is like
Uh-huh.
keeping like a very like marginal CS lead still over his opponent. So he's not completely out of the fight just yet.
Yeah. I mean, he is like a whole item down, to be fair.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is a Rotlize, it is a pretty cheap item, so. So we'll wait to see whether or not Silas can really get online here, but yeah, really just waiting for the next fight. Both player teams are sort of just farming it out. I mean, next objective should just be the Autocon fight. Evan does have 2 completed items, whereas Kage has not managed to grab the second item. Should be another LDR. Going for more of a pen build with the Ghost Blade. Just trying to pump as much damage into these tanks as possible. So, should be important to watch out for. Rad is going for like the Bork into the shield bow setup, trying to be a little more tanky so you can duel with these big tanky characters, which kind of makes sense to me. Bork is a pretty solid item for Yasuo, so.
I just really saw what Chow was going for there. But,
Yeah.
you know, still one creep still tanking for Dean, so wasn't able to get him stuck under the turret for a bit.
Yeah.
And here comes Paul running up here. Not Oh man.
Does manage to burn the Scion ult though. Does have to trade it for mid tower.
Yeah.
Kage is gonna flash away, but do manage to pick up the Herald.
I mean,
QC is
honestly,
dropping a lot of pings here. They spotted Spiral walking bot lane, so they might just start the dragon here. Or the Herald in exchange for a second dragon, which I think is pretty reasonable.
it looks like they're just hitting the Atacon.
I think this is a good
I
trade
mean,
for QC. That's not a
yeah, I think.
sole point or anything, so getting extra
Yeah.
Otacon is so good. Just any kind of XP they can get back into this game is really, really good for the side of QC. And yeah, Otacon
I think.
for Dragon trade is, I think you say worth. We're going
Oh,
for
they're
an all
looking for
here
a
on
play here right
Kage.
onto Kage.
The Rylai's is
We're
gonna make
gonna
his
have
life
a
hell,
few
and
more rocks flying out. Evan helping out with a W on top, and Kage gonna get picked up by Gruler for a kill. They will get a top tier one in response,
they might
but
get another here though.
yeah, and
Otacon
looks like
for
all is gonna be going down
Dragon,
as well. Not the flash you want to see,
but they
and
do get two towers. Two
yeah,
towers for Otacon, or Dragon for Otacon, and two towers for two kills is like fine, I think. I mean, the gold did swing back in Rift Sharks' favor, so it's still a good trade for them per se, but QC keeping themselves in the game golden XP wise, so they will get another tower here on the top side, so at least it's something for Rift Sharks. As yeah, definitely taking
and I do think
control
that
of this
the
game a
really
little bit.
important thing about the Atacon specifically was the fact that like Drakkar, who was only like a level up, like on the Amumu, was down 2 levels up, and possibly a
Yeah,
bit more.
definitely gonna be a little rough for them if they can keep control of this game for the side of QC. Should be really important to hold on to. Yeah. We'll see if they can wrestle back a little bit of gold on the part of QC, but having that nice experience lead for the side of them as they got the Otacon should be really important to watch. Dash is being spotted out here. They're looking for a collapse. Drakkar is just hitting the red buff though, and I would just keep hitting it. There's no pick. We're pinging nothing.
Yeah.
As Grit is looking
Oh,
for a bit of a trade
nice
here,
little
but
flick.
looks like they're just gonna try to
Disappointing
bail
didn't
him
have
out.
much, though.
As Scion is just AFK top lane though. They're looking for the play. Drakkar does manage to get a really nice interrupt. The
Catches him with
flash
the
from the Kaisa
ice
is well
ult.
played.
Wow.
They might go for the Baron. Someone's TPing bot lane, which is probably correct.
Like
The
Chad
Malphite.
stopped the silence split.
I think that's fine. You don't lose the tier 2 for QC, making sure that they can't do the Baron. That's all pretty reasonable. But really good burn of the flash from Evan. Getting out of that Malphite ult. Bro's awake. He's locked in. He's dialed. More grasp trades. More HP. More
Yeah.
value from grasp. Rah!
HP. What would top laners do without it? Probably starve.
True, actually. As they're still hovering around this Baron. They're gonna try to start it.
Yeah, it looks like they are just gonna start hitting the Baron as, you know, like when there's nothing going on, might as well just start hitting it.
It's the TP behind them, though. They
But
might try to
yeah,
collapse on
Chomp can't
this.
stop this TP. He doesn't have unstoppable force. He can't even get to this fight. They're gonna have to get off of it. Yeah. I mean, not
They
bad.
do manage to grab the
get
Amumu
force
ult here,
out.
so pretty
I'm
important to
not sure
watch.
if QC really wants to look for a fight here. Your Malphite's just slow pushing bot, and it looks like they are just gonna
Take the out
go back to
here.
pushing waves. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're just sort of hanging out. This is like a nice group hangout sesh from both teams, you know?
Like, you know, you force my top laner's TP, I force your top laner's TP. We're all happy.
Yeah. And as long as the two side laners are able to match into each other, I think it's fine. Malphite could have an angle here on Kaisa. No flash. Does have the killer instinct though. is walking towards the bush. The
Oh,
Amumu
there,
is here
yeah.
as well. The
How can we
ulti comes
see him
out,
coming out of the
and it's going to be a nice pickup for the
Wow.
side of QC. Well played. Good
And that
flank from
was just
Chow.
so well played. I think that they just basically all came right out of vision.
Yeah.
Put to what looked like an alone MF. And Rat looking for the play here onto Dean. He's going to have a wave to dash through here. Not going to opt in. Already opted into his ulti, giving him the armor shred. Still hitting. Here comes Spiral as well. But, you know, the Cinders are going to be helping Dean with his, like, little escapade.
Yeah. No ulti, just holding it for next game, I guess. Doesn't want to burn it because it might be a little too valuable in the team fight. I think that's pretty reasonable. Spiral is going to look for the... They are going to start the Baron here. Drakar's trying to play zone here a little bit, but is 2 levels up. We'll see. Smite Fight is going to come out here. Wind coming out from the Yasuo. Does have the
Shark's
angle.
going to be kind of careful here. You don't really want to get into a fight. You don't have your ADC up.
As they do manage to pick it up, and that's Baron going over for QC. And ooh, good hook from Chris.
Hook.
Gets the knockup, but the Taric ult.
But the Taric ult's going to be coming out. Oh, and the move is going in, but not really finding anything yet. He still has his curse.
Yasuo is back in the fight now.
In. I'm not sure if you want to be looking there. He's going to go down to Dean. Chris goes down as well.
Amumu
in goes the Amumu. 4-minute Amumu ult on the top. Evan in the back line looking for Kage. He's going to be autoing the creeps instead. He's going to take him down finally. Rat's going in. He's going to throw his blade out. Here comes the Yasuo. There's the flick. Gru is going to be going down. And it's just going to be a Malphite versus Sion. And with Yasuo still alive. And what on earth was going on in that fight?
Yeah,
that was so unfortunate. I mean, Evan was autoing the creeps instead of the MF. Hit the MF, not the creeps, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, good engage from the side of Rift Sharks, getting the 4-man ulti on the Amumu, but at the end of the day, you didn't tag up the Yasuo, and the Baron still went over to QC, so... Shockingly though, the gold is still in the favor of Rift Sharks, so gonna be really important to watch out for that.
Yeah.
Rough. RUFF, rough. And Drakar is 3 levels up on the Mumu, by the way.
Oh.
I mean, you are in the middle of 5 people, my brother in Christ. The Mumu coming out.
That was exceptional. And they're gonna keep the fight going. Drakar gonna be backing out. Evan still separated from the fight. This fight has been split
the E2.
Still. Oh, close with the abduct. Not gonna get it.
And they are gonna pick up this dragon for the side of QC.
Yeah, it's gonna be an easy Drake.
Yeah, really good combo from Drakar and the MF there.
Kage, yeah.
There's still no mid tower for the side of QC, so a little bit rough in terms of like objective or like other objectives besides the dragons. What was the thing that the casters called it at Worlds? The Curse of the Sad Mummy Time or whatever?
Yeah, it is
Curse of the Sad Bullet Time? I think that's what they called it.
Actually, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, both teams are just... This has sort of just been a fist fight. The game has sort of just evolved into a fist fight. I'm sorry, guys. Like, we're just waiting for both teams to engage on each other. I feel like that's sort of just been the strength. Dean's looking for a Q charge here, but the Taric is going to be up here as well. Silas is rotating up as well, so... Brutal. E comes out from the Taric. Does manage to connect the stun, but the side of Rift Sharks are all on the collapse here. Spiral is here as well.
Actually, it looks like this is just going to be a random fight breaking out. The car fighting Chris down there on the bot.
The stun comes out, that they do manage to connect. The ulti
Car
comes out.
A bit too far. Nice.
Oh my gosh, the flash ulti!
Intervention coming in. And if no one's going to get him, Chow with a big ulti in the back line. Spiral's going to go down. Dean looks like he's going to be going down. He's next on the list. Nothing happening yet. Gru and Evan still alive for Rift Sharks. Looks like they're just going to back off, though.
By the way, the Taric flash to guarantee the ult as he's coming out of the fucking Zanyas. What an insane play from the side of Paul M there. What a fucking ultimate from the Taric. Well played to him. Holy.
You know, and what I originally thought was, you know, just a Terra coming up to just make sure Malphite can get a couple bit more of those grass procs was actually just Terra coming up to save the day.
Yeah,
Because
a
there
bit of
you
a
need him.
yeah, and shout out to Kage as well. Like he's been really utilizing these bullet times very very well and getting a lot of damage down onto Rift Sharks. So holy shit, yeah. I mean, Chad is out here exploding Fall M for MVP. Yeah, that's an MVP play right there. Holy shit, keeping your jungler alive for that spot is looked really good. So Baron is coming up in a minute though, so we'll see if we're able to get any interesting fights here. Silas with the flash is going to be really important to watch out for. It's coming close to level 18. Hopefully they can readily utilize these level leads while they still have them, because Rift Strikes is going to slowly start catching up if you hit 18 really, really early, and like you can't really close out the game. So yeah, as Trakari is going to be face checking here, does go for the
Dang.
E. Stun connects,
Finally a
the ulti comes out,
Moo
the
big stun. Out comes the MFL. Kage's just obliterating them. Spiral's gonna get taken down. It looks like it's just gonna be a sweep almost. Evan doing everything he can. He's trying to move. He can't do it. Chow's just right on top of him. Dean, all alone and not long for this world. As they're
well
just gonna
played.
take him down. And there's another MFL because of the Axiom mark that Kage has.
That's awesome. It's going to be the Baron for the side of QC as well, so.
Yeah.
And the run might be over, guys. They're gonna try to pick
Man.
up this mid tower first, though, which I think is
I feel
fair.
like
You have a little bit of time.
in these fights, QC's just the one pulling the trigger. Like they're the ones like going in,
Yeah,
like fighting the fight on their terms.
yeah. I mean, you see the value that the Silas pick has into a Mumu, by the way. Like, just first pick the Silas, and you can just never play the game as a Mumu. So, last time they opted into like a bit of a different champion, like the Xin Zhao, but they've proven that they can just shut you down on Xin. So, really good job exploiting Spiral as a player and getting this valuable pick on the Silas. So. The Baron is secured, and they've pretty solidly gotten their lead back on the side of QC, so. Also, I think my MVP is going to Kage, or
I think
the
so too,
Taric. These two
actually.
have been playing so well. Bot lane from QC, I think,
Yeah.
has really stepped up in this game. So, props to them so far, so. Nice quick 2-0 so I can play with my friends again. True. As Soul Point is going to be picked up for the side of QC here, just getting this Infernal Drake. Drakar is looking for the play here. The E doesn't connect. The flash Q from
Chris is gonna have to
Chris.
flash out. I'm not
Ooh.
sure.
The Amumu
Fight
ulti
looks
doesn't
kinda
drop.
okay. MF ult doesn't really get anyone.
Yeah, doesn't really get any kills, so. I mean, ulti's burned from QC, so no bullet time, so they have to play around that cooldown. But everything else is up. Same with all the ultis aside from the Thresh ulti on the side of Rift Sharks. So
Yeah,
maybe
it
they'll
looks
just
like
go try to force lanes.
Sharks might be
into
looking for a
Rift
play
Sharks.
here onto Rat. Sure. Looks like Chris is just gonna take his base.
Yeah, and Drakar is level 18 by the way versus Amumu level 15. And this has just been the autocon give that they went for, the trade autocon into Dragon. That's never a trade you really want to make if you're the side of Rift Sharks, and looks like it's gonna really be able to punish them. Ooh, ulti taken for the Amumu, but I'll see if he's able to get a good angle on it, but he is so strong on the Silas here. Just using the two lanes of pressure, ballooning their gold lead, trying to grab both towers, and I need to kill this chatter who is a bot, die. Anyways. Oh shit. But really just, I think it's QC's game to win here, so see if they're able to pull it off. I mean, and I think the Talia pick has been pretty valuable for them, but I think it's just so hard to get into the MF here. No one has been able to really punish the MF with the bullet times. So, Dean ulting into the wall? What did we ult
I
for?
think I think he's trying to ult down the lane, but he might have not been looking at his champion.
Ooh. I mean, I guess we just want to go home in peace.
Yeah.
They're just utilizing the Baron, just trying to knock down these inhib towers, so. Yeah. They are down almost 8k gold. We'll see if QC can really finish off the game here, as the level leads are closing a little bit. Still 2 levels up, but both Gruer and the Kaisa are slowly hitting level 18, so. And yeah, they just don't have a lot of easy access to the MF to really shut down her ultimate, so it's been a little tricky for the side of Rift Sharks to shut her down. I feel like we're gonna get one last team fight where the MF just gets a really nice bullet time and kills everyone, and then the game's gonna end, but we'll see if that happens. That's my prediction, at least.
Yeah, hopefully maybe we can like, get like some miracle fight out of Rift Sharks, but it's looking pretty grim, especially with like all these items getting completed onto like QC.
Yeah.
The Malphite's at like 4.5 items.
Yasuo has
Silas at
IE.
4.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Silas is at
wait.
4.5. Oh, for
Who'd they
maybe
catch? No
a,
one?
uh,
Ulti for
looks
what?
like MF. It looks like they were looking for MF, but MF did the thing where she has a passive that just lets her move faster than everyone else,
Moby
so she
Boots
ran away.
passive. Yippee!
I don't even mind.
Did Greer just flash?
Uh, maybe I do mind if that. Wait. Looking
Oh
for,
my gosh, wait, the
oh,
Q
good play,
connects.
but he has Zonia's though.
Oh, and the
Oh,
ulti
I
comes
don't know
out
if
from
this
the
really hit
MF.
anyone. Maybe it's not too bad.
Spiral's in the middle
Oh,
of
but the
5
move
people,
only
though.
landed onto one. Fight coming out here quick.
Oh, wait,
Drakar's gonna
Yasuo
get shut
ulti.
down, but it's a huge blade from the Yasuo. Spiral's gonna get taken down as well. Chow in the backline on top of Gruer. Down goes Chris. Dean's getting picked apart. Gruer's getting taken down. There's a triple kill over to Kage. And there's your team fight victory for QC.
Yeah, we'll see if they'll be able to end. Both the side laners are immediately dropping the TP, gonna try to end the game here, so.
Yeah, and I think that's just gonna be it. And just
The GG is
man,
coming out. Yeah.
I think this MF and Tarek have both just
Yeah, really good play from Paul M
completely.
there. The flash
Yeah.
ulti, the ultis on top of Drakar, like I think this has been an insane MVP for Paul M. We don't really give MVPs in the finals, but or in the bracket series, but really insane plays from Paul M. I think he played an insane Tarek here. I'm getting pinged for something. Give me one sec.
No, you're all good. It's all good. It was
I
a really
think we
good game to
will.
watch.
I think we'll call it here. I don't really want to give an interview. I will say finals will be I think next week. But thanks everyone for tuning in. It was a really fun series.
Yep, it was very fun tuning in. Or it was very fun casting. What am I saying? I'm sorry, my brain's kind of
Yeah.
fried.
No, you're good. You're good. That's why we should call it here, right?
All right.
So,
Yeah, yeah. I'll see you around. I'll see you
all
around,
right.
Mason.
See y'all. Don't forget to catch finals. It'll be QC versus NYNB. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.